This is London with Bitcoin Spike. We are at the New York Open. Welcome to a new trading day. Let's dig into the details on Bitcoin. We were short 43 under. Nice to see the move. We'd like to see 42K come into contact to have a full completion move between our target, guys, custom price level. In terms of that, we will just encourage you to watch our old streams if you choose to. In terms of the patterning dynamics, you guys know there are a few. I want to spend just a little bit of time. You would look at this in the 15-minute. This may try and grab, would be a reason for bulls to try and hold. If you look at the 15-minute, the specific, and guys, why don't we talk about conflicts technically so that we understand when there are no conflicts is the bottom line. Topping formation, you guys go ahead. If you're pattern trading this, no problem. You do have a breakout with a specific conflict in terms of a 23.6 would be just about at that $42,000 mark, 42,000, just shy, $37. Looking at this level, understand that topping formation is a conflict. It is not confirmation. We do not have confirmation in terms of the pickup, bottom line. So we would like to see the completion at least to that 43,000. That is right. We'd like to see and be a part of the move from 42 to 43. If you want to take profits in the meantime, you need another trade. That's the bottom line. I'm a guy who's going to be here the whole time saying I want to cover each and every level between here and the moon. Okay, or if we can return back to the floor, this is the strategy that I want to employ. It may not be popular right now, but it will get you, please listen, it will get you shorting. It will get you shorting if you can't short. And while we've just made all of this progress to the upside, while we caught this short perfectly to the downside, when you're heading up, anybody can trade up. Okay, if you're not shorting, then we're gonna figure that out. We're gonna do something. We are doing something in terms of making sure that we're shorting. Bottom line. Let's talk about Tesla, guys. In terms of that, it's an encouragement. It's a reinforcement. I want you guys to just kill it and nail it in the market. Let's talk about Tesla real quickly. In terms of, we may want to just briefly go through the 4-hourly troublesome feature right here is going to be the specific on Bitcoin. It's going to be the crossover potential cross under that's going to be on the 4-hourly with a potential, we'll say as well, for a hit on the bottom side band. That would be technically what we're looking at, okay? So technically that's going to be the level in play with the 8-hourly expressing a capital control line lower band as well. We're just going to, guys, we're going to look at taking profits in the form of multiple trades on Bitcoin. That's the way that I would like to phrase things. If you're looking at taking profit, closing a trade, having multiple trades. I know you haven't heard that. It's why I'm bringing that up. I would prefer to have multiple trades and to close out an entire trade. Let's look at the volatility expression that did trade quite well to the upside just on Bitcoin before we go over into Tesla. We're going to call that our Optimus trade, the Optimus Prime trade, okay, in terms of that. Looking at the volatility, this is what we're looking for. Anytime that we see a volatility, and I brought you guys a pattern of volatility in the back, we have a micro and a macro volatility in play. I think you'll need to go to that, is it the 30-minute in terms of the volatility expression? Just make sure that that you're looking for these expressions of volatility because it means that the traders are looking for even, guys, more volatility, potentially to the upside or to the downside. We don't care. We're going to have our levels in play. So shout out to all our VIP, all our traders, guys, everybody. We're having a great time trading in fourth quarter. Let's dig over into Tesla. Let's get into Tesla real quick. Let's see if there's a nice chart that I can bring Tesla over into. And there we go. Just on Bitcoin, are we getting that completion? Don't tell me we got it. We're close, guys. We're close to that 42,000 mark. So close, huh? Within a just close, huh? I know you guys want that. If you're in the short, you want that 42, don't you? Feels good, doesn't it? To want the 42, to be in a short and want that to pay all the way to your 42. Look at this. I know we keep saying we're going to go over to Tesla, but looking at the framework here, boom, into that specific breakpoint line. We want the 42. Cash, it hit the register. Where's the 42K? We want it. We want it, guys. Trading from level to level, you're going to find yourself mitigating your profits at times or taking profits. The degree to which, and I put this in the back today, you are profitable while chopping along a line. If you're profitable while chopping along a line and then you're profitable in terms of positioning the entire time and on the cut loose away from the line, guys, the market's going to be yours. I'm going to help with facilitation in terms of some of the technical features and dynamics that we're building. Just chalk it up. There may be a reason that we are not on air talking about any of this. There may be a reason that we're not on air talking about any of this, because frankly, it's not just something that we would want to just throw to anybody in terms of an advantage in the market. That's just the way that we feel about it. Let's look at Tesla real quickly. That's just the bottom line, particularly about some of these advanced development issues that are ongoing that we are really building, which will belong to the business guys. It'll belong to the VIP is the bottom line. Let's take a look at this Bitcoin spike. You guys know this is London, former hedge fund owner, private, non-SEC, not financial advice. Looking at the breakout potential, I'm calling this the optimist trade because I don't like right now what I'm seeing fundamentally. Guys, please go to your broker on this because there are some fundamental issues and technical issues in play in terms of Tesla. So you guys go get your own financial advice on whether or not you want to invest in this. All right, there's all types of problems, all types of controversy. You may need to go to a confession in terms of whether or not you want to trade or make money off of Tesla. Tongue in cheek, yes, but to lay this out, okay? There's probably as much advantage right now. I won't bring up, you know why in the back we call it the optimist trade, okay? Optimus Prime. This is gonna be the optimist trade looking for some value. I do understand the car business is gonna be positively affected by lower rates. We did have, okay? Powell stating that there would be cuts next year that should reflect positively in terms of the business model, which has had to cut rates significantly. So to the extent that we could expect a rebound just due to lower rates, and that outbalances the competition, limitations in terms of manufacturing, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We can go through it all. You understand? It's not a light issue to look back and say, "God, cleared half a mil, cleared a mil on that bull flag on Tesla." It has a bit of a stigma to it right now. It's been highly controversial. So I'm just going to tell you, technically speaking, we need to hold 253 out, up, and above, and that's it. And I'm just going to call it out, technically speaking. You had a fake out yesterday. If you entered in 253 over on a technical, hypothetical basis, I'm just going to say this, to the extent that you're not going to hold, or we are going to hold up and over 253. Yeah, 253. Is going to be the line in the sand, okay? 252.90, really 253 was my mark. I've been saying that for a while now. 253.82, and boom. Didn't accommodate the breakout yesterday. We agree. I want a clean breakout. That's just me on a pattern like this. We're going to look at the pattern because it's beautiful. It's a beautiful pattern, and that's one advantage. I have to say we have to reinforce that's one advantage of technical analysis. You can throw me a soybean future contract chart. I won't care. If it looks like this, it's worth talking about it all day long, right? I still want you to go to your professional in terms of your soybean contract broker, okay? Still want you guys to go do all your homework, and maybe you can tell them how to trade. Who knows? You might find a broker relationship and say, hey, you know, why don't you look at this? Because I know that this pattern has a good probability of going up. Your broker may say, where'd you learn that? Well, I don't know. I just thought I'd bring it to you since you're my broker. What do you think now? Maybe have a discussion like that with your broker. I'm not giving you advice. That's my joke. I'm not giving you financial advice to give to your broker. I promise, guys. It's a security. We'd stay away from that, but that's my tongue-in-cheek joke because gosh knows some of them need it in terms of trading. You know that. 35% potential to the upside. That's just on this specific bull flag. Is the pattern perfect? Yes. Would it be just like the failure of all time? You betcha. Is it going to annoy me if we don't get into some acceleration here on the optimist trade, Tesla? Yeah, it's going to annoy me, huh? Is Bitcoin doing just fine? You bet Bitcoin's doing just fine. Guys, up and over 253, golden. Problem, issue here with this rising level of resistance? That's not a nice feature to break out with. You guys agree? If you're looking at this this optimist trade, that's not a nice feature to break out with, is it? We can clear it up on like the 45-minute. I don't want to clear anything up on the 45-minute chart, right? The fact that we have a leading expanding diagonal on breakout, we say, oh, it's a flat bottom support. It's really a leading expanding diagonal. This, per the technical authorities on the 15-minute, this is supposed to go down, guys. It's supposed to go down. It just is. Based upon Prechter, Elliott Wave, Library of Congress information, this should, boom, crash to the downside. We see them go to the upside when what? Good time to discuss the technical parameters. We see them move to the upside when we have an included bull pennant. So I would look around on specific time frames. Do we have an included bull pennant? And it's even a bit more frustrating. Just understand the technical dynamics that I'm bringing into the framework. A specific leading expanding diagonal can trade to the upside, is more likely to the upside in contravention of the Library of Congress materials, Prechter, Elliott Wave International, when when you have a specific bull pennant included. Now this is a bull pennant included, which does what? Which actually fails and busts, boom, to the downside with a recoup. So as you're looking at your entry into the market, I'm just going to remind you, it's a guys, these are a bit murky waters, and I'll just redirect to Bitcoin as the bottom line. Should this make money? Technically looking at it, yes, 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 yes. Period. Should it make money? Technically looking at it, yes. Do you want to make money on it? I don't know, man. I really don't know. To tell you the truth, I look at Tesla. As I look at it right now, it's so controversial. Do I want that on my potential blackball CV? What do I mean blackball? I mean, all of a sudden, I made all of this cash on Tesla. It was awesome. And then what happened is like every other trade after that just decided to go south for me for like 3 months straight. I couldn't figure it out, except there was this guy on TV that was cursing and acting horribly unprofessionally. It was just miserable, right? And life is miserable sometimes, guys. It's not easy. It's not supposed to be an easy, it's not supposed to be a free lunch, right? But I just don't, in terms of a blackball mentality, it's like just pointing back and saying, I made all that cash on Tesla. And then what happened? Well, the next 3 months, I couldn't book a trade. I tried. Every single trade I entered for the next 3 months just went against me. Well, okay. You want this on your profile, 65% move potential with the cup at your and handle. Is it going to make money? Just technically looking at it, yes. Ask your broker what he thinks about the fundamentals. Let's do that, okay? Technically looking at it, yeah, it's a bull flag. It should trade. Compromise feature of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're going to have to look into whether or not you have an included or implied 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're going to have to balance that on Prector. Is this a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? I would look at that. I would look at that quite a bit. Prector's not going to know the answer technically either. So technically speaking, yes. There, it's on the table, it's on the map. Technically speaking, should this make money? Yes. The decision for you is, can you categorize this as an optimist trade? You guys know in the back in VIP, and that's just going to be between us. You're going to have to find out why we call this an optimist trade. It's a potential speculative trade in terms of where this could go and why we would be long fundamentally on Tesla. It has to do with Optimus. I don't know, maybe Optimus could be the CEO. To the extent that that's a speculative feature and that's included in the valuation fundamentally of this specific company, what a fate loves irony type of a speculative trade on this specific asset. So yes, looks like it should make money. But if it doesn't want to make it quickly, I don't want to be in it. You guys know that. If it doesn't want to make it quickly, I do not want to be in it. It just takes too long. I want the accelerated price action, something we can count on, right? So looking at back to Bitcoin, we've got differentiation. What happened here is, just to explain the technical dynamics, looks like we're just slightly off of that 42 target, very close. How close did we get, guys? Let's chalk this up in terms of within $100, 0.21%. We're being challenged quite a bit in the markets, aren't we, with 0.2, 0.5, 0.1, right? 0.25 on the pickup in and around, let's say that daily. You guys know that in and around that daily frequently. So if you're not, you know, I can make the case at any point in time. If you're 90, 95% of the way there, great, guys. Good trade, good trade. How would you do that? I'd go high to low, and then I'd pull in my Fibonacci's, okay? I'd go high to low and pull in my Fibonacci's to look at the percentage that I'm actually fulfilled. I'll write a quick indicator script on this and get this to you guys so you can actually tell the percentage that you are to target, but you're well, guys, into that 90% threshold. How do I do that? I go high, boom. On the top sideline, I go draw it to the low, high to low, and I bring these back up to the high, okay? So looking at the framework, that'd be 23.6, 38.250, 61.8, 7.86, and then the 86. You got to add that 86 in. Always do it. It's going to let you know a critical level. If we wanted to change it to just 90, we could, no problem. But the 86 specifically back testing trades wonderfully well. So you see that 90% completion, boom. If you're happy with 90%, you're happy with 90%. That's a nice move. Getting to this additional range here where you're long over, short under 42,000. Are we long over, short under 42K right now? Guys, what do you think? Are we long over, short under 42K? Did you take at the 90% threshold? We're going to get through these issues, and I'm going to have a bit of a reconfirmation in terms of the preceding stream that we went through. And what does it have to do with? It has to do with your skill set. It has to do with your, guys, your asset, the liquidity of it. The questions like this have to do with also the exchange that you're on, and they also have to do with the specific lifestyle that you have, all right? The amount of time and attention you're paying to the market versus other things. So that's going to be determinative of your skill set, right? Your asset, your liquidity, your specific exchange that you're on, and your lifestyle. Now I'm going to bring those up at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and if you disagree with those, you let me know which factors are in play as to whether or not you can reset here, 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 and here. Guys, can you reset at every one of these levels? You technically can. If you have the skill set, if you have the specific liquidity in the asset, if you have the specific exchange which facilitates it, and if you have the lifestyle where you're able to or just say means, mechanisms, lifestyle, and tactic, right? There are people, my favorite approach is what? You guys know it in the back. It just will continue to be this, whether or not we hit it. You know, whether or not we hit the 42,000, right? My specific approach is what? You know it. I'll just reinforce it every single time. Guys, I need to make a point and a promise to you. Every single time I'll reinforce it. We're long over, short under until we hit the next level. Just understand the responsibility and the onus goes to you, okay? I'm going to put it on you to develop your skills, to make sure you're in the right asset, to make sure you're on the right exchange, and to focus on the parameters of your lifestyle or otherwise that can interfere with this. But as we were to look at this, you're going to have more situations like the following. Let me see, where are we at on, why can't I find this paintbrush? Normally it's my scuba mask. There we go, the brush. Now, you're going to have situations where you're up and then you're down and then you're back up. Okay, you're going to have to become comfortable with not banking here. Or what? Are you going to have to get involved in the 1, 2, 3, okay, in terms of the order positioning and saying, okay, fine, I take at some level. We've been in this position a few different times the last couple of days. What's the problem with it? We're running out of momentum. Okay, we have a nice, relatively nice move this morning, and then we're just running out of momentum. And she wants to kind of start doing this, chasing sideways, playing along levels of interest. And this is where it becomes uncomfortable. This is where people start to think, and this is where people start to, I will say, make decisions. But in terms of second guessing, you're going to be one of two. We're going to reinstill one of two things. If I go this route, which you know me, I want to go from a level down to the lower, the next level down. Now, where did that hurt? It hurt here in terms of 40,000. Did we hit 40,000? We did not. Did we hit 40K? We did not. Did that hurt? Well, if you had multiple trades, that's going to be the answer. It didn't hurt at all. Okay, this $40,000 marker here, but I'm comfortable on the aggregate with just trading from level to level is the bottom line. Me personally, I want to be a big-handed guy that's going to trade, and I don't want this trade, fine, go down, I'll book a trade out of several trades. In the meantime, at a threshold of 1/3, half, or 2/3, potentially multiple structured trades. Understand this requires, guys, a skill set, it requires an asset, and it requires an exchange. True? Yes. So as I discuss these things, it's not just in a vacuum, it's not in a void. These are actual relevant variables that need to be considered in terms of how you're interacting with things. Now, I just am going to tell you again, this here hurt, right? You made it what? 1/3, 1/2, 2/3 in terms of the take targets and flash accompanying trades. This is where you're starting to talk and having a good discussion. Additional trades, additional flash trades. When I'm saying I want to be the trader who's going to literally, and good morning guys, hope you're doing well. We're working into another VIP weekend. You got it right. Looking at the cross under, I want to make it to the next level. It's fine. I'm going to be stubborn about that. I'm just going to say I'm going to start to be stubborn about that. I want to make it to the next price level. We go down. I want to make it to the next price level. We go down. This was actually to 41, which we made it through 41, but we didn't make it down to 40. We got cut short here, and that hurt because there were a lot more profits in this zone. It's fine. I don't care. Okay, me, I don't care. To the extent that there are accompanying features and ways to trade, flash trade around this specific tactic, let's just go with that and stick with that. Let's stick with the fact that you should have your accompanying flash trade tactics. And for me, now this is for me, guys, take it from me and me alone. I've been around a lot of big trading, guys, big trading. So to the extent that I want to see this work out all the way to the target. I want it to go up to the target, or I don't care about it, guys. I don't. I'm going to stop it out. I'm going to go bam, back to another target. I don't care if it flashes around in a mid-level target. I actually need to draw this out to the extent. Let me see if I have another we may have a better, let's see what we got. Hope you guys are doing well this morning. It's a nice day with Bitcoin to get some price action, isn't it? Let's see where we're at. I know I have another one of these in place somewhere, or I may just have to add it. Let me add this real quickly. Let's put in our CPI 10. We have our CPI 10. I think we do. Custom price interval 10. Boom. There we go. Now, as we look at this, okay, I just want to clear the levels. That's just me, personally. Anytime you ask me, if I talk you through and walk you through in a state of lack of momentum, getting us to the target, you will always hear me say, before, during, and after, if you ask me during or after, the specific preference that I have, and I will always say, I prefer to hit the target. I don't care about this. Cover this with your additional flash trades, additional trades and takes, etc. You just need to, in my opinion, it's just me, guys, and I keep saying this in the back while I'm trying to accommodate any of you that feel like you need to trade, right? I don't want you to miss out on profits. So I understand it's a little unfair to me if I'm recommending that 2 or 3 trades be implemented and I know you're not doing 2 or 3 trades. Okay, so it's a little unfair to me. It seems like I'm talking out of multiple sides of my mouth or something else. But if I'm saying a 1, 2, 3 approach works in terms of the numbers of trades, the fact that I would know that you're not doing this one here puts me at a deficit in terms of communicating with you. The fact that it's not easy to manually do a 1, 2, 3, and that the answer is just potentially beyond the capabilities, right, of what you're able to functionally do and have in between levels. Like, look, I can do the first trade, I can do the second trade. I'm just getting hung up on this third trade. So I know that's part of the solution. It is, and it puts us at a little bit of odds if we're discussing continually, this is the solution, right? And ultimately, guys, you're gonna have 4, you're gonna have 5, you're gonna have multiple trades. I don't like taking it out of the original trade. I like having multiple trades. I like calculating in advance. How much is this level worth? How much is this level worth? I like knowing each of these is worth 50K, or each of these is worth 150K. Oh yeah, or each of these is worth 250K. That's it. Or each of these is worth $1 million, okay? That's the way I like to operate. And I like to know my profit equation ahead of time. And I like to say, that's fine. You want to juke around, you want to make me $250,000 here, put something else in play to pick up $250,000. I'll pick up something else in play to pick up $500,000. I'll pick up maybe even something in place to hedge up against if I've got, at some point, there's a different system in place that's going to pick up on, okay, I'm going for $1 million. I just made $900,000. Okay. If this starts to become a deficiency for me, if this starts to become a profit, part of a defect in a profit equation, and I can actually look back and say, man, I'm leaving a lot of 90% on the table. I'm leaving a lot of 90% completions on the table, and I've got literal back testing to say that, man, this is costing you some cash, right? But we know, in addition to this strategy, what are we doing? What are we doing? We're picking up, we've got all types of side trades, all type of additional levels in play. We've got the book that we throw at this thing technically, literally in terms of Bitcoin, you know that. So in the context thereof, I'm just going to always reinforce for me and just understand when we get into discussions and it seems like, well, you're not giving me a clear answer. You told me, yeah, I'm telling you what I'm telling you because I know while you're trading, you're not executing in terms of, and I would just say that, guys, partially or majority potentially due to the circumstances of skill set part of it. But you have to have a superhuman skill set if your asset and your exchange and your lifestyle are slightly out of the needed level of proficiency to execute the 1, 2, 3. Okay, so some of it's just reality. Some of it is literally just understanding reality. It doesn't change the fact that if this is missing, it puts us at it complicates and it simplifies. It complicates the discussion when we're not completely at target, and it simplifies the discussion when we're not completely at target because we know that there is more to the equation, and the reason that we have a lack of confirmation between your execution and the actual real answer that we know true to exist in terms of covering the dynamics at work, we know one thing. What? We know, guys, that the trade number 3, trade number 4, and trade number 5? Yeah, you know these are solutions, right? You just do. So it complicates it because we have to continue to discuss things with me knowing or otherwise that you're not in that specific dynamic or this dynamic or this dynamic, but it also simplifies it. Why? Because we know the obstacle, we know the solution, and we know what work we need to do. We need to find a way to not just be able to execute a trade 1 and a trade 2, but we need to work on 3. We need to work on 4, and we need to work on 5. In terms of having positions, okay, positions 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, okay? If you want the first one, boom, carry it through. Heck, on momentum, what do? You add to it. You got another add-on position, boom, heading south, with some real nice momentum, right? All of this gets executed by you guys, right? It's executed on the exchange. I'm busy with the exchange. You guys know, as much as I can be to your benefit, just trying to see what we can bring additionally to benefit the way that you're able to trade on the exchange. I spent a lot of time, guys, a lot of time in terms of maximizing our ability to proficiently work in the market. So the bottom line is we look at the complication of the 1, 2, 3 just being the baseline, potential carry, potential take, right? And let's say another potential take. If we're at that specific, I want to take it 1/3, I want to take it 2/3, right? Or I want to take, and you're going to get into this, I want to take it you look at more trades, I'm going to take it 1/4, I'm going to take it 1/2, I'm going to take it 75%. And you're going to look at, okay, well, that would be actually 4 trades at the 1/4, 1/2, the 3/4, and then I want one to carry if I can, and we continue, okay? So we're going to just get into the fact is it complicates, but it also does what? It also does simplify, because that's something that we know that we need to work on, right? Something that we will get solved in terms of the equation is the bottom line. It doesn't change the fact that it is part of the equation. So if you're not doing that, it can become just a touch difficult. So how close did we get? It's like it's doing this on purpose to us this morning, isn't it? Yeah, probably. What do you guys think? In the greater realm of probabilities, yes, it is. Let's take a look at this. It's just a great trade op here, guys. Nice to see. We say trade op, guys. It's an opportunity, a shorthand for us. Let's look at the, there we go. Here's the ruler. So we got within 26 bucks, 0.06%. That 0.06 is relevant. I will show you how. Is it any more relevant? In fact, I'm going to have to point my dev guy back to this 0.05 right here. That's a big deal. 0.05, 0.06. That's a big deal right there. That 0.06, the 25 bucks, that's a big deal. We've been working on that exact figure. Nice to see it exactly work out. Hey, nicely done. Want to shout out to the Speed Machine in terms of what he's building for us. Big chat out in UK. Brother, what's going on? Hope all is well. We're looking forward to that system integration and that international system integration to the extent that we can get it up to par at that level would be amazing, just for in-house purposes right now is what we're going to be working on. So we salute all our dev partners, guys. Appreciate that very much so. And yeah, guys, just want to salute all you, anyone who's listening, etc. We just appreciate all of your time. Nice to see a bit of a push from the market. I mean, it's not supposed to be too easy, but this is me. Just put me on the record. I'll always be on the record. Just understand this. You take what I say with a grain of salt, a heavy salt shaker, a sack of salt, a truck of salt, okay? Not just a grain. You take what I say with a truckload, a freight car load, okay, ships full of salt. That's it, okay? Bam. I want to get from here to here. You know how I operate? Yes. If you're in here and your palms are sweating and you're stressing and we're here where we might go, this is the issue, is that this whole strategy is about knowing where you're going, getting paid when you do go, and being comfortable with the fact, ultimately being comfortable with the fact that you can wake up, you can be offered some money on a position, and you can say, hey, that's fantastic, right? I decided to be short here. You can wake up and say that. You may not be shorting otherwise. You can agree with me? Okay, if you deploy this strategy, you may not be shorting otherwise, right? As we're going up in a bull run, guys, if I can get you to start shorting and start to create some income from that, that's the name of the game. That's half the battle. It's half the battle. more than half the battle, I always say. Why is that? Because you're going to be looking north the whole time in a bull run. And so it's not just half the battle catching the drops. We caught this. We're catching these guys. The issue is, while you are looking up and only up, you're going to trade the ups, but it's going to cost you more than the half. Why? You're going to say, well, that's half the battle. I got everything that's going up. That's not true, because you're going to lose half of the half. Typically, traders will lose another half of the half when what? When you're still trying to go up and you go down. So it's not just, well, I have to fill out the equation. Well, that's just half the story. We're continuing to go up. No, typically traders will fractionalize down, and they're kind of lucky, they're kind of lucky if on the whole in the year, it's like, well, I should have made something, but I wound up with, or I should have, could have, and had a this and that, and I wound up making yeah, guys, I don't want this. I don't want this. I want, and you guys know it, we want this. Bam. You got it? Yep. Boom. Boom. It's what we want. It's what we're doing. It's nice to see you guys involved in the price action and the tactic. Nice to see it working out. Understand these hiccups can hurt. If you're the type of trader that gets in a bad mood, you're in a bad mood because you don't have accompanying tactics, or legitimately you don't have that third trade that we're talking about, much less the 3, 4, or the 5 to put into the context. I was going to encourage you to continue to focus on the fundamentals and the technicals, continue to focus on all your trade game. Read the New York Institute of Finance. How many additional tactics can you pick up on that we use for the New York Institute of Finance? What else can you have going on in terms of your orders that are set up, ready to deploy? In addition to this, crack open the New York Institute of Finance, please. I would just highly recommend that you do that. Let's just note Solana over 66 bucks, traded well, didn't it? That was our level to work with. Solana over 66, went up 15%. Congratulations to anybody who traded Solana. Boom, nice liquidity. We like it. We'll take it. Tesla still geared off that 253, noted, no problem. The Optimus trade, potentially ability to replace the CEO of the company with a robot. We like it. We like it. In terms of the specific, honestly, from a speculative standpoint, I think it could bring a lot of value to the equation. In terms of the Ethereum, 2100 was our line. Doge is under the 10-cent mark. We're over bullish, under bearish on Doge. Fine to be parked in a short on Doge, no problem. Pick your levels. What's our level on Bitcoin? 42,000. 42,000, right? Now we're long over, short under. We got it within, guys, 0.05 something. Excuse. Very close in terms of a 0.05. So what do you know? You're long over 42,000. We all agree. Great trade op, guys. And I appreciate everyone who makes these trades possible, because that was very well demonstrated, something to walk through in the morning and go through the almost down to the, you gotta be kidding me, right? And almost, let's kind of consider it. In case you don't have a third trade, let's talk about some accommodations and talk about, maybe some frameworks that make sense, because you might not this and that, trying to help here and there. That's the mindset we get into when we're close on a profit take. But this was just beautifully demonstrated. So again, like I always say, we appreciate everyone who makes these trades possible. We really do. All the infrastructure and framework behind the markets, that's what we are excited to be a part about, and excited to watch come into the framework of something that can just be increasingly dynamic to be a part of in terms of our personal growth, and guys, as a group and on an individual basis. That's what we're really in the markets for. It's what we love to pay attention to, and it's why we're here. So this is London with Bitcoin Spike and VIP Trader, watching that 253 on that Optimus trade. Can they replace the CEO with a robot? To the extent they could. I love the trade. I love the fundamentals. In fact, I'm going to go talk about it today with the local head of the Morgan Stanley office and see what he thinks. That's going to be my deal. You guys talk to your broker about securities and everything else. And yeah, careful in those securities, coins that kind of reflect the security nature per anybody that might be in the stomping around business. Yeah, just if they like to stomp around and they can actually do it, I don't know. We'll stick with the Bitcoin trades. How about that? We'll stick and focus on those Bitcoin trades. This is London with Bitcoin Spike and VIP Trader. Guys, pleasure to talk to you this morning. Nice to see that trade out. Boom, work to the downside. And what was it? Were you short under 43K? Well, you got within like 99% of your target, which was a beautiful way to close this out. A nice pickup now on that 4-hourly simple moving average. 20 moving average is what's in play right now. You guys know that. I can get on the screen here. We can look at some of this with some of our advanced indicators. We can look at that 4 hourly, right, is in play right now. The 4 hourly 20 moving average that we did just crest slightly below to get down to that $42,000 target within 0.05, right? So that's a target hit. So looking at the framework here, what needs to happen? Bulls need to up and over the specific 20 moving average on the 4 hourly. If you're not in at all, that's a great place to work up and over, down and under. We're just going to say right now we're bullish over the 42,000. We concur? We concur. This is London with Bitcoin Spike at VIP Trader. Guys, we'll talk to you soon. What day of the week is it? We got to check what day of the week it is. This is a big deal. We got another VIP weekend incoming. It's Friday? You got to be kidding me. It's Friday. What does this mean? The weeks are zipping by. Guys, it's the 15th. It's the 15th. What does this mean? This means that we have 2 weeks left. Guys, and gals, we have 2 weeks left in terms of the fourth quarter. We got to get busy. We got like 10 days. You guys, holidays are already ongoing. They're already ongoing. Let's get this level. Let's focus on the next trade op. That's what I do. Whenever I look at the calendar or anything else, focus on the next trade op. That's it. Next trade opportunity, right? 42,000. It's the line in the sand. We're bullish over, bearish under. Let's trade this level. This level just traded very well with a lot of swing trade potential here on Fire and Ice. We're going to note that, right? Let's let some of the patterns develop to the extent that we can, unless we just get the momentum rush. You'll see that momentum here on top. Let's see if we can schedule into that momentum just so you can get a viewpoint of the momentum here. 6 hourly, 8 hourly, weekly, monthly, still blue with the 3 minute and 5 minute trying to turn around. Everything else is red. That 15 minute, 30 minute, that 45 minute hourly, that 77 minute, we pay attention to it, guys. The 4 hourly and the daily has capsized. So that daily capsize, we're going to see how we dance around that 42. We're going to get involved in the next trade, and I'm excited that we have another VIP weekend coming. Let's do it right. Let's do it right, guys. Let's do this weekend right. We'll talk to you guys soon. Great trading. Guys, it's London with Bitcoin Spike and VIP Trader.